Hey hustlers, this is Ray Renee, and this is my summary on Essentialism, the Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown. Essentialism is the identification and then continual choice of doing only what is essential for your highest contribution in order to live your most fulfilling life. Almost everything is noise. We're overwhelmed with irrelevance. Don't underestimate its unimportance. As an essentialist, you'll discover how even the many good opportunities you pursue are often far less valuable than the truly great ones. Once you understand this, you start scanning your environment for the vital few and eagerly eliminate the trivial many. A non-essentialist thinks almost everything is essential. An essentialist thinks almost everything is non-essential. Make life less but better. We often have the misconception that complexity means efficiency or quality, but in reality that usually means more confusion and incompletion. Whereas simplicity is concise, it gets right to the point. Rid yourself of non-essential possessions. Yes, it's hard for us to get rid of things that we own even if we don't use them often because of sunk cost bias, the overvaluing of things we own just because we own them. Eliminate non-essentials or prevent them from becoming a part of your life, physical and mental, by learning to say no often and becoming comfortable with confidently discarding things that don't really matter. Practice mastery. Don't be a jack of all trades. You can't be 100% effective in a multitude of things. Most people major in minor activities. Congratulations, you have a PhD in wasting your life. Start saying no as your default instead of yes. Eliminate the rest so that you can be really good at what's essential to you. Clarify. You must identify which opportunities to take by applying advanced criteria. Tap into your brain's sophisticated search engine. Don't do just a general good opportunity search. Instead, ask the advanced search questions like, what do I feel deeply inspired by? What am I particularly talented at? And what is a significant need in the world? Study the Ikigai concept to develop this skill as it will help you define your highest level of contribution. Choices. We often brag about having them, but underemphasize our actual ability to choose. We seem to have forgotten our ability to choose and fall victim to learned helplessness, a default mode we go into based on previous optionless experiences and not the present scenario. We can also go the other direction by compulsively accepting every opportunity because we believe the only choice is to do it all. If you feel utter and total conviction to do something based on your essential intent, then say yes. But if the answer isn't a definite yes, then it should be a no. Essentialists don't subscribe to the fear of missing out or FOMO effect because they do only what's essential to them. This strategy may include saying no to paid opportunities, but you must realize there is a small price up front to being the very best and distinct in your field by focusing on the vital few. And this will lead you to far more personalized abundance. Trade-offs are inevitable. You must execute on them and understand that they are a natural part of your journey to achieve your vital few. Ray Dalio, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and mentor to the notably successful, said that you can have anything in the world you want, but you can't have everything. Make the optimal choice by framing trade-offs, often seen as a negative, in a positive way and ask, which problem do I want to solve? What do I want to win at? You must clarify. Make one distinct decision that eliminates 1,000 others. Be really clear because pretty clear isn't sufficient. When you don't know what the end game is, you're unclear of how to win and experience confusion, stress, and frustration. Your hard work is arbitrary because you're wasting time and energy on the trivial many. Philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson said that the crime which bankrupts men and states in work is the decline from the main design to serve a turn here and a turn there. Know where you are going. You must have an essential intent that's inspirational, concrete, meaningful, and measurable. The concreteness of your objective is what makes it real. The realness makes it inspiring. A true essential intent is one that guides your greater sense of purpose and helps you chart your life's path. Calibrate. Edit your life. Editing, which involves the strict elimination of unimportant or irrelevant things, is an essentialist craft. It's the essence of decision making. An editor makes it very easy for you to see what you're supposed to be looking at because they eliminate everything else but the element that absolutely needs to be there. All of your ideas and input from resources, colleagues, etc. are going to constantly try to overpower what you should be doing. As an editor of your life, you're taking these inputs and deciding the one or intersection of a few that makes sense for you. A good editor is someone who deliberately subtracts, which adds life to a campaign. Essentialists focus on systematically removing the most obvious or immediate obstacle keeping them from executing. They are aware that some activities that are generally productive can be obstacles as well, and they don't fall victim to busy work. Condense and be diligent about eliminating. As Stephen King once said, kill your darlings, even when it breaks your egocentric little scribbler's heart. Kill your darlings. With that being said, sometimes it's best to edit less. Don't spend unnecessary time on what's sufficiently complete. Remember, done is better than undone and perfect. Execute with ease. Non-essentialists tend to force execution. Essentialists invest the time that they've saved by eliminating the non-essentials into designing a system to make execution almost effortless. Create buffers. The only thing in life you can expect with any great certainty is the unexpected. Put buffers in place to reduce the friction caused by the unexpected. Practice extreme and early preparation. When a non-essentialist receives a windfall, they tend to consume it rather than set it aside for rainy days. An essentialist uses the good times to create a buffer for the bad. When scheduling tasks, they add up to 50% more time to their estimate. This combats planning fallacy, which is a tendency to underestimate how long a task will take, even when you've done it before. Create a set of routines. Once you figured out the most important activities to keep, create a system to execute your intentions and make things as effortless as possible. Challenge the notions that they have to be hard and full of friction. Make real progress. Non-essentialists start with a big goal and get small results. They go for the flashiest wins. Essentialists start small and get big results. They celebrate small acts of progress. When we assume we have to start big to get a big result, we often end up banning the idea, seeing it as too burdensome or unrealistic. Research shows that progress is the most effective form of human motivation. A small concrete win creates momentum and affirms our faith in our further success. After each one, use the momentum to get to the next and make bigger strides. Focus on your minimal viable progress and efficient preparation. Identify the smallest amount of progress that will be valuable to the central task you're trying to get done. Start early and small, not late and big, so that you don't end up stressing over a nearing deadline and a boatload of work. Visually reward your progress. Seeing your progress on a graph, chart, board, etc. is an act of positive reinforcement that allows you to enjoy the process more. Get in the flow state. Essentialists don't live in default mode. Most creative individuals identify what is essential and create personalized patterns of action based on the best rhythms of their sleep, eating, working, etc. They abide by them even when it's tempting to do otherwise and make what may be hard work look easy. Without routine, the pull of non-essential distractions will most likely overpower you. When you create routines, you will begin to execute tasks on autopilot instead of exerting effort to consciously pursue them. Scientifically, routines enable difficult things to become easy, and once your mental work has shifted to autopilot, it frees up space to concentrate on something new and important. Success is a natural extension of habit. Even if a habit is small, it can be very hard to change it. The power of habit method suggests that there is a cue that tells your brain to go into automatic mode and choose which habit to use. Then there's a behavior, and then the reward, which tells your brain if the habit is worth remembering in the future. Create new cues and change what habits are triggered by old ones. With repetition, your brain strengthens the link between the cue and the behavior, and soon you'll subconsciously perform the new behavior. Do the most difficult thing first. We already have so much to think about, so why not eliminate the task that takes the most mental energy from us? Avoid routine fatigue by changing up the schedule of your habits and creating some variety. Tackle your routines one by one. Start with one change in your daily or weekly routine, then build on your progress from there. Keep in mind that this may not be easy. Many of our non-essential routines are deep and formed in strong emotion. The idea that we can just snap our fingers and replace them with new ones is naive. But once you develop them and make them automatic, you will have perpetual success because the skill remains with you for the rest of your life. Society seems to contradict itself when it comes to working hard. In one sentiment, you must work smarter, not harder, and in the other, in order to be successful, you must work hard. The first lends its philosophy to the fact that there's only so much in a day that we can do. But we can free up time by eliminating non-essentials, delegating, and automating tasks. In regards to working hard, yes, it's inevitable, but an essentialist does only what's important to them, which favors the quote, "If you do what you love for a living, you don't have to work a day in your life." Focus on what's important right now. Be present. When you focus on what is important in the moment, it helps you focus on your form, how you're doing in the current activity, allowing you to execute more effortlessly. There's only now. It's natural for us to obsess over the past mistakes or feel stressed about our future endeavors, but every second you spend worrying about the past or future, it distracts you from what is important in the here and now. You can multitask, but you can't multifocus. Yes, you can listen to music while washing dishes, but you can't concentrate on them both with 100% efficiency. Be in the now, and in moments of confusion, make a list and prioritize it to identify what you should be doing in that very moment, not in an hour or tomorrow. Get the future out of your head. Pause and refresh. Find an activity like drinking tea and savoring it, or taking a few deep breaths and clearing your mind to help you focus on the now. That's where you'll be free and in a place of happiness and peace. Evaluate your flow state by taking note of when you're in it and what brought you out of it. When you identify those triggers, try to recreate the initiator and eliminate the deterrent. Escape. Design elements of escapism in your life. You can't figure out what is essential when you're constantly on call and in survival mode. It's critical that you set aside time to take a breath, look around, and think. You need levels of clarity in order to innovate and grow. If you're too busy to think, you're too busy. Open your mind by opening books and find places to explore and ponder. Make sure you make time for play and make sure that you protect your sleep. The best asset you have for making a contribution to the world is yourself. Sleep is a driver for peak performance. That's why essentialists see it as a necessity, whereas non-essentialists see it as yet another burden on one's already overcommitted, busy, but not always productive life. Shield yourself. There's power in a graceful no. No is a complete sentence. The right no at the right time can change the course of history. Rosa Parks' no propelled the civil rights movement. Saying no can often be hard simply because we're unclear. When you have clarity, you have a force field of protecting you from the non-essential. The fact is that you can either say no and regret it for a few minutes, or say yes and regret it for a few days, months, even years. Learn to say no firmly, resolutely, and yet gracefully. Your fear of disappointing or angering others will soon start to seem exaggerated, and people will actually respect you more. Denying the request is not the same as denying the person. Stop making casual commitments. Pause before you speak. Remind yourself everyone is selling something, an idea, a viewpoint, etc., in exchange for your time. Be aware of this and decide whether or not you want to buy in. Limit access to yourself by setting boundaries. Boundaries are not constraints or limits. A non-essentialist believes unrealistically that they have the ability to do it all, and they exert effort when they attempt to direct no. Essentialists see boundaries as empowering, liberating, and eliminate the need for the direct no. They recognize them to proactively protect their time from being hijacked and free up time from the burden of having to say no to the things that further others' objectives instead of their own. If you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. Stop robbing people of their problems. Live in your purpose. Do the things that you've decided are most important wholeheartedly and discard the trivial. Remember that with success comes opportunity, and opportunity breeds distraction. If you embrace essentialism, really live in it, and everything that you do, it can become a part of the way you see and understand the world. You'll have more clarity, more control, and more joy in the journey, making memories that you otherwise would not have known existed. Be unreasonably selective of what you choose to spend your precious time on. Realize that life is short and cherish every moment with the most important thing in mind. The life of an essentialist is to live without regret once you have chosen what really matters and invest your time and energy in it. Beware of the barrenness of a busy life. Purge life of the non-essentials in order to live a life of high contribution and meaning. To do this well takes courage and compassion. It's more than mental discipline, it's emotional discipline. Remember this, whatever decision or crossroads you face in your life, simply ask yourself, what is essential? Eliminate everything else.
They just some motivation, let it get you motivated.